to the News-Leader. Today we're going to make a really simple meal, and it's paired with my column. Basically, my column this week is about jarred meals. So I am going to make a sun-dried tomato stir-fry with shrimp over couscous. It's fantastic, only 6 ingredients, and you won't believe it. It'll be done in 15 to 20 minutes. First thing we're going to do is put our water on to boil for the couscous. You want to measure out a cup if you're using this brand of couscous. If not, just follow the directions for 2 people. Once your water boils, your couscous will have to rest for 5 minutes. And that's actually one of the longest parts of this recipe. A little sprinkle of salt. And a little olive oil. Cover it and let it boil. Okay, so let's run through our ingredients. You can use cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, it doesn't matter. Next, and this is a key ingredient, is California sun-dried tomato spread. You can use a lot of different sun-dried tomato spreads, but this is my absolute favorite for this recipe. It's available at Dillon's and Food for Less. I don't know if anybody else in town carries it, but I do know that you can get it there because that's where I always buy mine. You just need a big red bell pepper, a squash, some couscous, and shrimp. This is easy and it's nutritious. I always split my tomatoes in half. I like to use the entire jar. This is only for 2 people. You will have leftovers, but they're healthy leftovers, and so whenever I'm making something healthy, I make sure I have extra for lunch tomorrow. You got your tomatoes chopped, sliced in half. Let's move on to the squash. You want to cut your squash very thin because this meal cooks like that because shrimp cooks very quickly. You don't need the entire squash. I just use half myself. And I try to cut them, you know, it's actually a little too thick. There we go. That's a little more what I want. More like a thick potato chip, basically. Cut half of this. If you like more, you can use more. I think half is just about right. And after you've chopped that, then we're going to do the red bell pepper. I like to do the red bell pepper pretty small, again, just because it cooks quickly. I love crispy bell peppers, so I put those in towards the end. I don't want them to cook that much. If you prefer softer bell peppers, then you might want to go ahead and toss them in when you do your squash. The squash will be the first thing that goes in, and the tomatoes will be the last. So I like to just sort of do these in a razor. You can do any shape that you like. Sometimes I use yellow bell peppers. In the summer, I might mix it up and use yellow or orange bell peppers. Okay, now my water's boiling, so I've got to put on the couscous. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of couscous, and then you're going to pour it in the pot, stir it in. Oh, that's beautiful. Turn off the heat and let it rest for 5 minutes. Easy, easy. Now we're going to peel and wash the shrimp. First, give them a quick rinse. The trick to peeling shrimp is to just grab them, pop off the tail like that, and then grab the middle of the body and pull the rest of it off. Should just be 2 simple steps. Occasionally you'll get one that sticks, but otherwise, boom, you're done. So whenever you're working with shrimp and you're about to peel them, it's best to set up 3 dishes. One, which this is the dish that actually had the shrimp that were not peeled. Another dish to keep the peels in, and then we'll set for the fresh. And very important, wash your hands thoroughly in all your dishes after you handle any form of seafood or any kind of meat. You want the heat on this fairly high. Blast it. I'd say medium high. I've got a gas stove, so that's what I love about gas. You can wash it a lot easier than electric. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's actually just about 1.5 tablespoons. If you can get away with less, then I certainly would. Roll that around for a second. And when the oil is hot, you're going to first add your squash. Okay, now you'll see that the oil's starting to shimmer a little bit, and that's when you want to add your zucchini. Spread it out. Don't pile it all on top of each other. These are going to cook for about 2 minutes. Again, I like my vegetables a little crispy, so if you like them a little not as crisp, then you could cook them another extra minute. But they're not only going to cook for 2 minutes, because then you're going to continue to add the ingredients. You will add your bell peppers and your shrimp, and in the very last minute you're going to add your tomatoes and your tomato paste, your sun-dried tomato paste. So if you like well done bell peppers, add them now with your shrimp. If you like really crispy shrimp, let the shrimp, excuse me, not shrimp, but if you like really crispy bell peppers, let those go a minute after the shrimp. Beautiful. While the shrimp are cooking, I like to hit them with a little bit of salt. Just a little, because actually your sun-dried tomato is going to have a good amount of salt in there, and you can always salt later, but you can't take it out. See, look how beautiful. They're already starting to turn. I'm going to go ahead and add my bell peppers. Love it. Okay, your shrimp are just about ready. You see, they start turning white and pink. And that's when you have a shrimp that's just about done. Not quite done, so if you look through the center, they're not exactly ready. But now is the time, when they look like this, that's when you want to add your tomatoes. Because the tomatoes are just going to take about 1 minute. Cook this for about 30 seconds, and then you're going to add the tomato paste. You don't want to add it too soon just because you want to be sure that your shrimp are thoroughly cooked and you won't be able to see the color as much once you've added your tomatoes. Okay. So when you're making this, you're going to want to use a 1/3 cup of the sun-dried tomato spread. You could go as much as a 1/2 cup, but I would definitely start with a 1/3. And just toss it all. You're really getting to the end. You've got about 20 seconds of cooking and that's it. And you're going to spread it over your couscous. You can, it's optional, if you feel like it, you can splash a little oregano on there. Little oregano leaves, it's a nice touch. Don't have to do it. Just a little bit like that. Love the smell of oregano right in when it's cooking. Time to fluff your couscous. Look at that, beautiful. So fluff it up with a fork real quick. And then pour it. I like to serve this all dramatically on one big plate rather than doing individual. You can do it any way you like, but I always go for the flare. It's nice. Spread your couscous out a little bit. And then just take the plate and boom, pour this on top. Like I said, heavy on the vegetables. Now let's have a taste. You see the amount of couscous this made, even though I only made enough for 2 people. I'd never make for 5 people because it's just an extreme amount of couscous. So this is more than enough. You should have plenty for dinner tonight and lots of leftover tomorrow. I'll make sure I get a nice little squash. Okay. Tomato. Fantastic. Healthy. And done in about 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. You'll find a list of ingredients on the video. You can also find the full recipe if you didn't follow it through this video on news-leader.com or on my Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, you can just search for Juliana Goodwin. That's only 1 N in my name, comma, NL, or you can go through our website, which is www.news-leader.com/Goodwin on Facebook. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Thank you.